EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
Let's take you down to the 7th hole. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Just a pure strike and a perfect result. They'll have a good look at birdie now. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Now to the par 3-8. Frank, what's the best way to go at it?
Well, for these players, straight at the flag. This is the first par 3 you'll see, and a good chance to make 2 coming up ahead. But we do see a lot of long putts here with an errant tee shot.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. 13 feet away. Wow, I thought he made that. That's costly right there.
Painful.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch. Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews. And Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this is a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end hole. This hole is called the end. But this green, too, is so flat, very, very difficult to read. But if you get there, pull the head cover off the driver. Remember, this is the only chance you get to play the old course.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And he's made the green. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. So we're getting set now for the second 9 here at the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, a chance to get off to a good start here with the short par 4 10th?
Yeah, it's a very subtle hole. It just looks straight ahead in front of you, but there is gorse down the left if you stray, especially into a head breeze. But really, it's drivable for most of the players. Just got to worry about those 2 bunkers, the sort of short right of the green. If you finish up there, then this hole becomes a little more difficult.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. About 120 yards to the hole. They actually have a few courses at the home of golf, St. Andrews, and one is called the New Course. That's 100 years old, the New Course. So imagine how old the old course is if the new one is a century old. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Kind of a tricky read. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. So for Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray offline. They have to be avoided. And of course, there's all the little landmarks, whether it be the Old Course Hotel or even the famous Swilken Bridge as you traverse the 18th hole. There's something at St. Andrews for everybody.
The second shot now to the par 4. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, where is that thing?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway.
Second shot.
Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That was not a very good read right there. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he makes it for par. Moving on to the par 4 6th hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot. 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those, and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Settles in over the putt. Good roll. Now at the 6th, not a particularly long hole, Frank, par 4.
Yeah, semi-blind tee shot. You've got an idea where you want to hit, but there's a series of 3 bunkers. They're called the coffins down the left side, as well as some pop bunkers down the right. So this requires a very accurate tee shot.
Has played the entire day in the short grass, and that's the way to do it. Another fairway. What a display of driving the golf ball. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Will make birdie if this drops. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long, long birdie putts here.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. In for par. That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
Now at the 10th, and Bobby Jones loved this hole, didn't he?
And that's why it's been renamed Bobby Jones. Drivable for a lot of the players, but if you're going to have a crack at this green, avoid the gorse down the left side, as well as the 2 pot bunkers that are in line with the right side of this green. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Good birdie, now at 1 under for the tournament. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reasons why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
Boy, that can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does. And if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
solid play, heart of the green. And getting ready for the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze, because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. A touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right, though.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Rich, one of the problems with the 12th hole is the severity of these ridges on the green. If you've got a pitch shot or a short shot coming in here, not only do you have to get the distance right, but you've got to get the right spin on the ball, whether it kicks forward or you want it to stop.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it, send it. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play, power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of this green.
This, the second shot here at the par 4.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
Good question.
Don't forget, the final round comes your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, so long for now. EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present final round coverage of the Open Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend Frank Nobilo. We are at the home of golf, Scotland, the old course at St. Andrews. Frank, what are some of the distinctive features to this wonderful old course?
I think when you just sort of look at the bullet points, people are going to look at the shared greens and how huge they are and the pot bunkers, but it has the most famous par 4 in the world. That's the road hole. And of course it has the most famous bunker, which is the road hole bunker. You couldn't build it today, hit across the corner of a hotel and hit it to a green that's got a road behind it, but it works.
It's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Down to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
Even par currently.
Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, looking at that shallow rear shelf here at the 12th, it looks as though it just sort of runs away on all sides.
It does. There's such a small piece in that top high portion. Chances of getting it on the right level, you have to be very, very precise.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The two bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pop bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the fourth fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Mark a birdie on the card. Back here at the 15th, and Frank, this fairway narrows up in a hurry.
And it's also, there's a big crop of heather that sort of constrains you if you're going to hit it just straight down the middle. Only the brave go down the right side. It brings in those little bunkers called robs, and they'll rob your scorecard, that's for sure.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. Ooh, nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Locked in on the read and the speed. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
And now another par for the 16th, Frank, and another hole where precision off the tee is going to be paramount.
Yeah, the norm off the tee is really to avoid a series of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose. I've never really figured out why they're called that, but it's not the place to be, that's for sure. Stay short of those is the safe line, and then a little pop bunker once again in the front left of the screen called the Wig. That's also to be avoided. Another difficult green. Looks a little simpler from the fairway, but miss your mark with the yardage and you'll pay a premium.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
This is like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Famous 17th at the Open Championship, Frank. You begin to see the scoreboards, the grandstands, and you know all eyes are on you for the next couple of holes.
Yeah, this is one hole I think that anybody that goes to the old course certainly wants to play. Blind tee shot, you've got to flash it across the out of bounds and somehow find the fairway. If you go too safe down the left side, well, there's some heather to be chopping out of. Good tee shot certainly gives you a chance to hit it this beautiful green that's angled to the left, well protected by the road hole bunker. And if you're a little ambitious and a little strong, then there's a road itself and out of bounds beyond the screen.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
Really. This is that awkward length. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, this is really one of the coolest spots in the whole sport. When you tee off at 18, it's as if the entire town of St. Andrews is peering in and looking at you.
Yeah, you've started by the town at the little starter's box, and then you've sort of gone all the way out. Now you're all the way on the back end, and it's almost like your job's been completed. But really, in the game of golf, you just started.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away. Good look at birdie. Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Drops for a par. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
So short iron in hand now at the par 4 7th. Good opportunity to make a birdie. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close, and just a great shot.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a two-shotter or a three-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Frank, for a long time, the stadium course at PGA West was thought to be too difficult for the professionals. How'd that happen?
It wasn't really unusual. A lot of Pete Dye courses, when they first came out, with the wooden bulkheads, so visually intimidating. It was such a departure from traditional golf design that players, they weren't very receptive to it. They thought it was too punishing, and yet now, we look some 20, 30 years later, Pete Dye's going to go down with the Mackenzies, the Donald Rosses, the C.B. McDonalds as one of the most innovative and one of the great architects that actually changed the direction that the game's gone.
Back in the late 1980s, the Tour Pros actually refused to go back to the stadium course. They signed a petition to get it removed as one of the host courses, a ban that effectively ran until 2015. But now the Career Builder Challenge will return to the rotation in 2016. This is a good-looking shot.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Finishing out the front nine with a pretty difficult par 4. Again, water down that right side. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
In the green side bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contacts. You have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
Excellent front side. Trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, again, this would appear to be a pretty good scoring opportunity.
This is so much about getting the distance right here. Bunkers on the left, there's the water to carry, that's needless to say, but also the mounding that's just behind the screen and to the right. It's very easy to just take the trouble out of play in the front and then find the trouble behind the screen. So second shot, judging the distance, imperative here. Should be safely on deck.
And it makes the green in regulation. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Now in the top 5 after that par. Oh boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West, 617 yards. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Get down, lay down.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. No damage done, made the par. Tomorrow here on EA Sports, for our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live second round coverage of the California Classic. Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is nicknamed Turning Home as we are making our way towards the close of this round. Good tee shot, right in the short grass. Now the approach here at 15.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
He'll need to be strong with this. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Par 5 16th is a slight dogleg left at 600 yards. Beautiful looking shot right here. And from the fairway for his second shot here. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Players bracing against these strong, gusty winds. Really a challenge out there. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Did the job right there. Par 3 17th. It is the signature hole here at PGA West. They call it Alcatraz with good reason. You can get locked up here and they'll throw away the key. It's a place that has spoiled a lot of rounds through the years. Pure strike, good result.
Right, and that is close.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. A good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You are allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Tug that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break. And just moving that much closer to the leader now, Rich.
So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live 3rd round coverage of the California Classic. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
So, sizing up the approach shot here at the par 4 10th, what's a player trying to work out right now with their caddy?
Distance club selection is always the situation here when you have something to carry and something to stay short of.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. Little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
Looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow through. Second from an excellent lie.
That's an absolute beauty.
Now the third shot here at the par 5 11th. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Yet another birdie and on the march, 7 under for the tournament. Now the par 4 12th, only 363 yards, but Frank, it is intricate. There's a lot involved, isn't there, in playing a hole like this?
Yeah, I think this is where you have to work out, which clubs do you hit the best? Are you better with a 9-iron, you're better with the wedge? Because that's the distance you want to hit it to. That's how you can be aggressive, even when you're laying up.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
One or two more like that, Frank. We're going to go from third all the way to the top.
And no stopping.
Now teeing off here at the par 3 13th.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
These putts keep the round together. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really. Poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge. And
they'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, what do you like here on this approach shot at 14?
Green is more triangular. It's wider at the front, narrows as you get towards the back of this green. If you're going to go with that back flag, you could perhaps bring something in there a little lower and sort of skip it up. Apart from that, just a nice high soft landing short iron.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is nicknamed Turning Home as we are making our way towards the close of this round.
Oh, I liked that.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Now the approach here at 15. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie. This is a 16-footer. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
They'll take it. That's a par. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the California Classic. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards, but Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter play, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Should be pretty good right there, on the safe side. Well, that's how you play the game right there. You knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now to the par 4, 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those two bunkers down the left side. You've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
Yeah, for good reason, not just an eagle too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
Par 5 16th is a slight dogleg left at 600 yards. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Now his third, staring right at the green. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Frank, that looked good to me. That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Suddenly, we have a tie for the lead.
Bogey there. It's not the worst you could make on a hole like that.
So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Good clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
It's no snack, though.
Beautiful touch, nice putt. Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with. This is not heading in the right direction.
You know, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Has his par. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire, and I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Getting set now over the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. From a par 3 to a par 5. Here at the 12th, it measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game. Ooh, chance for birdie. You'd like that one again. Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Our featured golfer has made it to the 13th hole. Let's pick up the action right there. Just a mediocre first round up to this point from our featured golfer. Frank, what are some keys to making something happen down the stretch?
Well, if this is the worst score that they shoot all week, I think that's one of the keys because this is a position to vault forward from.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Moves into the top 25 with that birdie. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully. Should be safely on deck.
Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. So long for now.